Donald Trump launched his political career saying he'd mastered the art of the deal. The judges ruled Trump inflated some of his net worth and some of those deals. A judge has found Donald Trump engaged in fraud, overinflating the worth of his real estate holdings and misleading banks and insurers. The ruling comes days before the Trump Organization is to stand trial in a civil case alleging years of fraud and misconduct brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James last year.
That's right. A New York judge finally threw the book at Donald Trump for decades of financial fraud related to his company, the Trump Organization. And according to the judge, the Trump Organization basically lied about, well, everything.
In the ruling, the judge found Trump and top executives at the Trump Organization lied about his assets in order to secure favorable loans and lower insurance premiums. In one instance, claiming his 10,000 square foot apartment was roughly 30,000 square feet. The judge summarizing Trump's approach to bookkeeping, this is a fantasy world, not the real world.
There's a reason this decision is huge, because what the judge found was that the evidence was so overwhelming and Trump's fraud so clearly visible that he granted immediate judgment for the state and against Trump. That means Trump's upcoming fraud trial focuses solely on how big the civil judgment against him will be. And you could tell Trump wasn't happy. He posted a statement to Truth Social that called the ruling, quote, a radical attack against me, my family, and my supporters. Trump went on to claim that America was becoming a communist country and that New York was depriving him of his civil rights. Among Trump's assets getting their business certificates revoked is Trump Tower, home of Trump's 30,000 square foot, according to the judge, 10,000 square foot gold-plated apartment. And folks, if the government can come for Donald Trump's giant gold-plated apartment, it can come for your giant gold-plated apartment too, if you commit fraud.
It's likely that the Trump assets will be seized and disposed of.
Could they seize Trump Tower, the original one?
Sure. Absolutely. And in fact, there's discussion about how Donald claimed that his apartment was 30,000 square feet when it's 10,000 square feet. And then he says, well, that's just rounding. And the judge goes, no, it's not. In another case, the judge finds that Donald valued asset in one case at 4 times the highest value of a comparable property, which may be a much better property than his apartment.
So what happens to the Trump Organization now that Donald Trump can no longer do business in New York? Well, nothing good, because it's still unclear what will be left after the government seeks damages against Trump's companies. That could amount to billions of dollars. What's even crazier is that if Trump had never run for president, he likely could have kept on advancing this fraud every year until he died. The only reason we know about these crimes is because Trump won the presidency. Well, better late than never, I guess. It's also going to be awfully hard for Trump to get credit from commercial banks now that lenders have legal proof his businesses defrauded them. And as Glenn Kirshner notes, the judge who handed down this decision has seen all the numbers up close.
I mean, this is a ruling by a judge who is privy to all of the sort of financial information of the Trump org and all of his LLCs that were part of this litigation. And, he is ruling that, essentially these LLCs must be dissolved because of the persistent fraud by Trump and his sons and the others who are named in this order. So, as David said, this is sort of an exclamation point on the reality that Donald Trump is a fraud.
Tuesday's decision marks a stunning downfall for Trump's once sprawling empire of real estate-based fraud. And that would be shocking if you didn't also remember Trump himself may be going to prison soon. What a year. But of course, it didn't take long for the MAGA moron wagon train to roll into town and defend the Donald. And according to the far right, this is all just one big conspiracy theory, and actually Mar-a-Lago's worth $4 billion.
And there certainly is no fraud when no one's actually harmed by it. But let's just go to the what we, I think, all know at this point, which is, unfortunately, there are a lot of judges in this country that are get Trump judges. They don't care what the law is. They don't care what the facts are. They have become political activists, and they just want to get Donald Trump. This case should never have been with this judge. This case should have been transferred to an entirely different division of the New York Supreme Court.
Yeah, that makes sense. Every judge in America, including ones Trump appointed, are all just get Trump judges out to make the former president look like an idiot. Well, I hate to break it to you, Jesse, the guy doesn't need anyone's help doing that. With Trump's fraud decided, the matter now heads to a jury to decide how much Don has to pay the state of New York for his decades of crime. One thing is clear, Donald Trump can't hide behind fake balance sheets any longer. People of New York just made sure of that. And if you think that was a lot, check out this video.
So much food and water stored down there to feed the whole United States for about 10 years.
And as always, leave a comment below so you can let me know what I should cover next.